in the live stream. Doing the stuffs and the things in the live stream.
There's a cat meowing.
It's the live stream.
In the live stream.
Big kitten in the live stream.
Coming at you.
Big kitty cat in the live stream. Using my cat for clout in the live stream.
Oh, turn her to the camera. She's got her little tongue sticking out. A little bit. Tongue sticking out a little bit.
Talking about the theisms and the atheisms and the gods and the not gods and, you know, how good can life be if you're an atheist? You know, how can you find hope and meaning and joy in an atheistic worldview? You know, these are all good questions. Can you switch my chat to all? The settings button in the bottom left corner?
I'm the one who found it in the first place.
Oh.
Do you not remember this?
No.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me.
I'm the one who found it in the first place.
Eric, hello. I need to scoot closer. I can't read the screen. Hello. Yeah, I got a kitten. She's super cute.
She's very content.
Really good, sweet girl.
She's very content.
How goes? Eric says hi.
Hello.
There. That's a bigger screen. I can actually read it.
He's purring away.
Just happy kitten.
Yeah, kitten. Yeah, kitten.
Yeah, atheism. How can you find meaning and joy and hope and purpose without a God?
What is that?
My book.
Oh.
Which is the topic of this live stream. Live stream number 99.
Oh my goodness, 99.
I think I'm gonna do, I kind of want to do like, I kind of low-key want to do like a 5 p.m. live stream on Sunday. Or something like that. Maybe for like a couple hours or something.
Yeah.
What do you think? Yeah? I think that's what I'm going to do. 5 p.m. live stream, Central Time, Sunday, for my 100th live stream. Be live for a couple hours. It'll be great.
Just remember at that time, the child will still be up.
That's
awake,
alright.
And probably will want to interact with you.
That's alright. I might just have to have you run interference. Because she doesn't need to be seen or heard.
I feel like she can be heard.
No,
Yeah.
I prefer not. We can talk about it.
She's gonna want to see you. She doesn't see you all week.
So,
Because you're locked away.
yeah, 5 p.m. Central Time. Someone distracted you. How can you let someone distract you while I'm on the screen? Don't you know how important I am?
I think the other person on screen is
Central.
what's distracting.
Carry the one.
Yeah, I think the other being in your screen is what's distracting. 'Cause look at that cute face. Look at her.
She's so happy.
She's so content.
Mm-hmm.
She's so content. And she's just so big.
She's a big kitten.
She's a big kitten. My goodness.
Yeah. Atheism. A lot of people don't think that you can find hope and love and joy in a world void of God and divine objective purpose and law and whatnot. And I disagree. Respectfully. Especially when, like, there's a lot of different people in the world. And there's a lot of different people who have a lot of different beliefs, who believe in all kinds of different gods, who don't believe in gods at all, who believe in some kind of higher power, some kind of supernatural something, and those who don't. And mixed in there, you get all kinds of people who are happy and positive, and people who are not, people who find purpose, people who do not, people who have reasons to live and all that stuff, and joy, and people who do not, people who have morals, and people who do not. Is cake and cats. I mean, we need to make our cake.
Mm-hmm. She's just so content. Yeah. Yeah. You know, this would be a perfect position to clip the claws.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. Because you're right here.
I can just
Right
hold
here.
her.
And she's content.
Just
and
hold her
happy.
and make sure she doesn't move. Scratch either of us.
Huh?
Just make sure she doesn't move and scratch either of us.
Yeah. It's tempting though.
Nah. I don't have cake right now, but I have been eating those frosted sugar cookies. Taylor keeps bringing those home.
They're good.
I didn't say I didn't say they weren't.
Mini cakes. Okay. She's done.
I didn't say they weren't good. I just said, they have been brought home and I've been eating them. Even though I'm trying to eat healthier and whatnot.
The cookies.
I haven't needed, I've been craving, sweets, though.
Yeah.
There's only so much that, candy and stuff can do for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, religion is one of those things, and I see this particularly in Christianity, that appears to have, as far as we can tell, risen from humanity. But then after that, so things like morals and purpose and reason and what brings us joy and what doesn't, that we were able to build up prior to a lot of these religious institutions that we put into them are now being filtered out, with people now saying that we cannot have these things without religion. And they point to the different ways that it was filtered out of these religions, ignoring the way they appeared to be filtered in the first place by secular means. Because I'm sorry, we don't have any reason to believe in the existence of a God or any kind of higher power. So it really, the best explanation I can see is that these were concepts that we already had and already came up with and were already working on prior to these religions being, being a thing. But then religions still like to hijack these things and say, oh, we can't have, positivity and morals and all this stuff without religion. You see, all that stuff comes from the Bible. It doesn't, you know. Even people who were raised without the Bible and without Christianity can still find ways to be happy and have fun and find purpose and meaning in life. It's not required. I was agnostic up to the age of 30, and then I had an awakening. And then you are on the road to another world. Okay? Remember, the powers that run the world believe in a creator too, but they worship Satan. You should get into some esoteric books. I don't know if I should. I definitely should, just because I like getting information from multiple different sources, but perhaps not for the purpose that you're thinking, and perhaps not with the end that you are hoping for. Me, open your eyes and look at creation. It's that simple. It's not, but it is what it is, you know. Someone dropped a Bible verse in the comment section of the video too. Time for everyone's favorite segment. Drew reads the Bible. I really want to read the Bible again. I got a couple books that I want to read before I read the Bible again, but I really been wanting to read the Bible again. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. 2 Corinthians 4. Oh yeah, this is the one that has highlights. Is this one I usually grab? Maybe? I don't know. I don't think it really matters. I mean, it kind of does. 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians 4:4. You want to read the Bible? Yes. You heard that correctly. Corinthians 4:4. It's I have this weird like on purpose. I have this weird I mean in case nobody's noticed, I have this weird thing that I really like religious studies, and I really like hyperfixating on Christianity and learning more stuff about religion and Christianity and whatnot. And part of that is reading the Bible more. Especially I want to read one of these NRSV Bibles. I haven't read the NRSV. I've listened to an audiobook of it twice all the way through, and then like patches here and there, but I've never actually read it. And I want to do that, especially because the NRSV has like the easiest to read language, and it's like dopamine to the brain, for me at least, after reading something like the King James. But yeah, I got a couple books I want to get through. I have finish the book that I'm reading, and then I want to read like 2 other books, but I think I'm gonna put one of them behind the Bible. I don't know. Corinthians 4:4. And they asked for the King James version. Oh. In whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. Solid. Satan's powerful enough to block the light of Christ. Isn't that interesting? I never got hooked on history. Who knows what's true? Who knows? People bring that up quite a bit. It's like, oh, what's your evidence that Caesar existed? Yeah, it's not perfect. There's a lot of historical figures that we don't have a whole lot of evidence for. Here's the thing, though: people aren't really like building religions off of them and like trying to use their words and stuff to dictate other people's lives. There's not like this idea of an eternal good ending and an eternal bad ending if you don't believe in the existence of Caesar, you know? So it's just like, it's not that deep, you know? If we wake up tomorrow and it has been 100% proven that Julius Caesar did not actually exist, I just grabbed a random name, it wouldn't do anything. Really wouldn't do much. If we woke up tomorrow morning, or if, we prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that he did exist, either way, it wouldn't really do much to the world. Now, if we woke up tomorrow morning and we had completely, without a doubt, proven or disproven the existence of a God, or proven or disproven the entire narrative of the Bible, that would be more of a thing. So that's what it is, I don't really care how accurate, other history is. Not really, because it's not as deep and controlling, and it's not as much of a thing as religion is, in the belief in a God. I'm interested in some pretty silly things. That's all right. Whatever you're into. I'm into religious studies, and I'm an atheist. They're saying whatever neurodivergent minds decide to cling to. I don't have any more explanation to it than the next person. I need to post more content on here, honestly. I haven't really been on top of that. Just been working. Hello. Welcome. And it's the same thing as like when people say when people say you're an atheist, why do you spend so much of your time obsessing about something you don't even believe exists? First off, because I'm neurodivergent like that, and I have this hyperfixation on religion, that's been like lifelong and has only gotten worse and more involved and intricate as I've gotten older, but also because it matters. It has an effect on people's lives, whether there is a God or not. This belief system in a God stirs things up. These beliefs in gods, in religions, in higher powers stir things up. Why did it hide? It hid that, Eric. That I do get. Why did it hide? It hid that comment. But yeah, I talk about religion a lot because it's interesting and I like it and it's important. And I don't really know what better reasons there are. I'm going to be completely honest with you. And I spend a lot of mine. It is interesting. Like, people are right. As an atheist, to spend so much of your time thinking about something that you don't believe exists, and one might argue obsessing. It's a daily thing. I'm going over this stuff in my head over something I don't believe it exists. I'm not disagreeing. Yeah, it's strange. It's weird. That question is identical to, if you don't believe in magic, why are you so obsessed with Harry Potter? Yeah. Of course, Harry Potter doesn't have as big of a hold on the world as Christianity, but yeah, no, still, some of the same themes still apply. It's very important to know, especially because even if this stuff didn't matter, even if it wasn't that deep, I still just like this stuff. It's interesting. Like I said earlier, I want to read the Bible again. I'm so excited and eager to read the Bible again. I just need to hurry up and finish some of these other books before I read it again. Especially because I know reading the Bible is going to be. I'm working on getting better, and I've gotten better in some ways at reading. So my old record of getting through the Bible was in 6 months. I got through it in 6 months. I think I can shave that down. It's easy to ask the Christians, do you think it's important? Yeah. There. Yeah, I've read the King James version. I've read the New American version. I've read the English Standard version. And I've listened to an audiobook of the NRSV, New Revised Standard Version. I don't want to read it, especially because I have read, bits and pieces of the NRSV, and gosh, it's dopamine to the brain. Especially like I was an English major, so like I'm not a stranger to like fancy old English, Shakespearean English verbiage and words. What doesn't mean I like reading it, and that's kind of what the King James is. It's that like complicated old timey English stuff, and then you have the New American Bible, which is like a few steps down from it. They're still being kind of fancy with it, but like they're not trying as hard. The English Standard Version is kind of being a little extra as well, but then the NRSV is just modern English, and it's like literally when I read, I didn't read all the way through it for the first time, but when I read, I think I've read like the Gospels in it or something. I've read, I think I've read a couple of the apocryphal books. I don't know. I didn't read much at all, but what I did read, just reading it, it was just like dopamine to the brain after reading the more complicated Bibles. So I'm excited. I'm so close to being done with this book too. Like I'm almost there. It's only taken me like 3 months to get through this because that's how I am. But I'm getting better. I'm making more time for reading and stuff. So working on it. And my head injury is healing, and I'm learning how to live with that. That slowed down my reading significantly. Well, what can you do? Keep moving forward. Keep pushing. Keep growing. Keep learning. All that good stuff. Cookies are pretty good.
You mentioned them earlier. How to go?
I've been having like 2 of them every day.
I noticed.
Yeah. It's crazy because a lot of times we'll bring sweets into the house and we'll only eat like half of them or whatever and like throw the rest away. But those sugar cookies, man, can't deny them. Over a lifetime, I have inadvertently conditioned my brain to tune out when someone starts reading scripture. Fair. I like reading it. And it's not all terrible, There's some good things in it. Nothing really comes to mind, but it's. This is the not every book in my Bible is like this. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like the classic atheist Bible that has like more highlights. My phone, my main note-taking Bible, is the one that I have on my phone. And it is dripping with highlighter. This what I have in here is just an attempt to transfer those notes over to here, but it's not the best attempt. Because I'm just obsessed with it. Obsessed over something that I don't even really believe in. Because I'm weird like that. Neurodivergence for the win. Well, that looks like my spouse's main copy of Song of Ice and Fire. What's Song of Ice and Fire? That sounds familiar. I've heard that. What is that? Game of Thrones. Oh, nice. Never got into Game of Thrones. I've watched in my doom scrolling that I need to work on, I've watched quite a few clips of it, but never really got into it. And of course, never read the books. Smokey. Smokey. started watching The Walking Dead and watched through season 1. It was pretty high. I know not all of it's great, but we'll get through that eventually. What are some old comments that I can go through? Some comments that I haven't read in a minute.
Hello, kitchen.
More of these. I'm gonna. Here's a content idea that I need to make. Is just going over the fact that all the Abrahamic religions follow the same God. They just go different directions with it. Because the amount of people who don't fucking understand that is kind of triggering me. Islam, Jesus is prophet. Judaism, only God. Jesus is not God. Christianity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. They don't believe all in the same God. Yes, they do. They just go different directions with it. I'm going to bring this up every single live stream. And I'm going to... Maybe the next video is going to be just an hour-long rant of just me going over that. I'll do it. Probably not. I don't have that much to say about it. But, of course, we shouldn't fight each other. I myself, being a Christian, don't agree with that Jesus never said to do that. Of course, I will disagree with him, but we always can have peaceful conversations about it. I can agree with that. You know, folks love history. Oh, yeah. Well, and history is good to understand and to learn from. Hey, atheist. Hi. Atheist here. How's it going? Look at the trees. If that doesn't convince you, nothing will, of course. It's not the worst. I bring this up quite a bit, you know, the look at the trees argument, how I hear it being said by atheists making fun of Christians more than I hear it coming from Christians. But also, like, yeah, there's something to that. Like, look at the trees. Yeah, the trees exist, and they're crazy, and they're weird, and why do they exist that way? What is a tree, and why is it like that? Why is it shaped like that? Why does it do the things that it does? You know, life, the world, the universe is, like, crazy and complex, and you can look beyond the trees. You can look at, you know, the planets and the stars in the night sky, the galaxies and nebulas and all this other stuff. It's weird, and it's crazy, and it's cool, and how the fuck did it get here if not by magic? These are all great questions. But just because we don't know how it got here without magic doesn't mean it has to have been here by magic or divine will or whatever else. Good. Where are you from? Kansas. Most people leave Christianity without even fully knowing what it is, or they just don't agree with your interpretation. Don't hit me, but are you playing with... Don't hit me, but you are playing with devils. I am playing with devils. Didn't you just give me a thumbs up for being an atheist, and now you're saying I'm playing with devils like it's a bad thing? What? In Kansas, he said was the name of the star. I'm not familiar with that song, Eric. There's so many alien stories, but we never had a solid evidence of aliens' existence. But when we look around the space, you realize how vast it is. It makes you wonder, are we truly alone? And there's absolutely no life out there somewhere. And maybe it's just so vast, it's just impossible for any civilization beyond Earth to make contact with us. My point is, there's no proof of aliens doesn't mean for certain that aliens don't exist. I absolutely agree. The Wizard of Oz? I guess I haven't watched it since I was like 7, but yeah, I don't remember that song in The Wizard of Oz. It's she said, not he said. Show me that shovel or something, please, behind you. Oh, it's Satan's pitchfork. Is what it is. It's right there next to my satanic Bible. And, next to my, my actual Bibles, the Quran and the Bhagavad Gita and stuff are over there too. Does Satan's pitchfork have a fancy name?
We were just talking about that last time.
I think we talked about that last time. Someone said it was like Trishul or something, which is like a fancy name for a trident, or no, one of the Hindu gods had a thing that looked like that. It was called like a Trishul. God is and will always be God. Sure. The Bible isn't oppressive. You just disagree with what you think it says. Big difference. Okay, sure. So what is life defined? So what does life defined according to your Bible? I'm sorry, what? I'm not sure I understand the question. No, it's just a kind of trident. It's just kind of like a pitchfork. I don't fucking know. Google it. I feel like it should have a fancy name. I feel like it absolutely should and does. Like I said, I think someone said it was like Trishul or something, which is like a fancy name for trident. It's just a kind of trident. I mean, it is a kind of trident. It's not necessarily... It is more trident-esque, at least this one, than a pitchfork. What about Trevor? Who's Trevor? Is it just Trevor the Trident? I can rock with that. The Adventures of Satan and Trevor the Trident. Trevor the Trident. Turn back to paganism and I can breathe again. I don't even think you need paganism. I vibe with it more than, Christianity. But I don't know if you need that. Jews and Muslims worship the same God. Most Christians worship Jesus as God. It's crazy. Crazy that people don't understand. What is life according to your Bible? What Bible? So I'm really tired from just getting off work. I'm too chatty and silly. That's alright. Chat's not moving very fast. If you don't carry the boat, nobody will. What What Bible? The Satanic Bible is not my Bible. I don't have like a personal Bible that I like subscribe to. I mean, obviously, it's my Bible. I own the copy of it. That particular copy belongs to me, but it's not like a code that I live by. All who are atheists are it towards religions, not towards the Bible. Men lack knowledge about the Bible. Always seeking to know and to understand before taking a label upon oneself. Atheism is lack of belief in a God. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with... It doesn't specifically and necessarily have anything to do with the Bible or religions. It's just lack of belief in a God. There are gods connected, obviously, to the Bible and religions. So you can't completely have a disconnect, but it's not quite. Okay. Atheist towards religion isn't. That's not. It wouldn't be atheist then. It would be a different word. Atheist is just without a god. So it just doesn't work. Oh yeah, I haven't had that. No, we've had it a couple times. Made a video a while back of talking about theists and Christians who rage quit the live chat because they don't provide compelling evidence or arguments at all, and then they get mad when it doesn't convince me. They're like, you said you were open-minded, but I see how you really are, buddy. I'm sorry, your arguments suck. It's not my fault. Get better arguments and come back. Sorry. I used to be into going to church to hear the gospel. I really want to go to like different Christian churches just to like see how different denominations do things, you know? That's on my to-do list. It's not necessarily towards the top of my to-do list these days, but it is on my to-do list. Hell is something that we in a way create when we sin. Nah, God created everything. The priest found a way to ask for donations. Well, of course, you know, gotta have that. I don't think it was appropriate. Is it ever when the priest asks for donations? Especially when you get like and I know this is a minority, but when you get the mega church pastors talking about you need to give and all this stuff, and then they fly out in their private jet that they got from, you know, the donations of the parishioners. Well, good luck with your faith, but try to stop your foolishness of worshiping Satan as fast as you can, or you will be played around. I don't worship Satan. I don't even believe he exists. But thanks for the good luck. You know, good luck to you too. I never picked this book up. Yeah, I don't think that rock's doing anything, if I'm being honest with you. I think that book's just kind of standing on its own. I don't think the rock's really doing anything. Certainly didn't stop it when it decided to fall. Lies, lies, lies. You're going to want them to believe you're in hell after you get there to the other side and face judgment before the Lord. There's manipulation in atheism. Sure, buddy. It's okay. I can tell you that manipulative Christianity is not true. I pray that you find Jesus. Of course, the version of Christianity that you don't like isn't true. Just like there are other people who don't like your version of Christianity and say it's not true. I would advise you to stop paying taxes. Hi, I just got here. Your earlier point about visiting churches. Once my Muslim dad and I looked inside a random church holding a mass. It was while we were traveling. Eh? How was that? Without objective morals, morals is just your opinion, man. No, not really. When I asked him why he did that, all he said was, have you ever been to a mass before? Yeah, I need to post more. The same people who are trying to convince you of absurdities are the same people threatening you if you don't believe it. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. Stop listening to people. You have one father. Well, he's not speaking up, so I get. You know, like if he wants to show up and give his 2 cents, I would be very happy to hear that. But you know, God is pursuing you, Drew, and He has much patience. He doesn't mind your endless attempts to disprove His existence. It's not really what I'm trying to do. He created your intellect and expects you to use it to find truth, and that's the word truth. He is truth. Sure. The best advice I can give you in this moment: don't settle for anything that doesn't really satisfy your soul. I don't really believe I have that. Like there are lots of explanations out there of who God is or isn't, but just keep on asking that question. Okay, the same question you're currently asking about God. Actually, just keep asking that question about the other theories and beliefs you try out. Do I know this is true? Oh yeah. Question everything, 100%. Keep asking it and never be satisfied with anything but a deep, peaceful knowing that you found the truth. I don't know if I found the truth, though, is the thing. I really sure hope this doesn't come off as arrogant or preachy. Not my intent. No, it's fine. It's just like, I don't know. Hey, Mixed. Because I have a couple of my regulars in chat, I'm going to say it. I think I'm going to go live Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time and be live for a couple hours. I did see the Marine get his arm broken at the Senate building. I did see that clip come across my page. Not sure what to do with the world at this point in time. Isn't atheism literally the belief that there isn't gods, deities, or supernatural forces at play in the universe? Not quite, it's just the lack of belief in a god. Or gods. Much heated rivalry. One of these days I'll have to. Read the Book of Mormon and you'll come to a testimony that it's true and Jesus lives. See how ridiculous your argument is? Oh, that was satirical. No one has ever gone too far for Christ to bring them back to the light. We're all sinners and need a Savior, so Jesus came down to live a perfect life, and He died on the cross for your sins, and He rose from the grave. Because if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised Him from the dead, you will be saved. For with the heart one believes and is justified, and with the mouth one confesses and is saved. Cool. Maybe we'll get there one day. No, it's not fun things when we turn on the news, unfortunately. True Christianity literally fits into science, and if you argue with evolution, that's just a theory. There's a lot there. First off, what is true Christianity? Because everyone's going to have a different, and at least slightly different answer. Fits into science, not, the Bible doesn't fit into science. And if you argue with evolution, that's just a theory. Evolution existing doesn't necessarily disprove, like, creationism. I don't feel like, at least not quite, definitely tweaks it a bit. But also, it's just a theory. You don't know what a theory is in the realm of science. Gravity is a theory. Germs are a theory. Cells are a theory. Plate tectonics are a theory. Do you think most guys are secretly bisexual? I hope so. Orthodox. Oh, Orthodox what? Have you ever prayed the rosary? I like it. Oh yeah, I used to pray the rosary all the time. There was like a year or so in my life where I would pray it like every night as a part of my nightly prayers. I had like an hour or so for a couple of years, for a few years. I had like an hour-long prayer thing I did at the end of every night before I went to bed. How can evolution be true if abiogenesis isn't? Abiogenesis is an explanation on how life comes from non-life. Evolution is what happens to that life after it's there. So if it's not abiogenesis and it's just magic poof, then that, life that magically poofed in can still evolve. Orthodox is true Christianity. Okay. 13 help you sleep at all? Hi there. Hello. I don't know if I really noticed a difference, I'm going to be honest with you. there were many nights when I would, if I prayed after I got in bed, laying in bed, I would get sleepy. No, there was a lot. No, I take that back. There were a lot of nights, especially when I was already laying in bed trying to pray, that I would like doze off or like fall asleep midway. But then there were also plenty of times where I would doze off, while praying, even if I wasn't laying in bed. That being said, it was also just like late and I was tired anyway. So I don't know how much of my sleepiness was that and how much of it was coming from prayer or meditation or, the rosary or whatever else have you. Definitely remember being sleepy. I remember I used to hate like when I would fall asleep, like especially when I started praying. Cause I started praying, after I'd gone to bed. Hello, just to like, just be more private about it. Cause my parents didn't know how to fucking knock, so like they'd walk in and I'm like mid like on the ground praying, tearfully to God and whatnot. Just like leave. I had to like start making notes and just like, hey, go away. I'm praying. And it's like. And then the Bible's like, no, you shouldn't make like public displays or whatever. So like I just kind of switched to just praying after I'd already gotten in bed. But then laying in bed in a dark room and stuff, I would fall asleep quite often, and I would feel bad. But what can you do? What can you do? Nothing like Catholic guilt. That good old Catholic guilt. Dude, that shit's real. You know how many times, because I went to Catholic school K through 12th grade, and so there was a crucifix everywhere, like in every room, in different spots in the hallway, everywhere. Do you know how many times someone would be acting up or doing something they weren't supposed to, and the teacher would point to the crucifix, to like this statue that we had on the wall of just a public execution, a bloody, beaten man being publicly executed in our third grade classroom, and they'd just be like, "You see all he suffered and died for you, and you're just gonna push your friend, after he did all that." Nah, that guilt was real. Mm-hmm. They milked that shit. How much time do you figure you spent on praying over that period of time altogether? I don't know. I would pray throughout the day. I mean, like, let's look at what we mean by praying. Like, there's like my hour-long like praying, but then there was like I prayed throughout the day. Like, all throughout the day, making sure my steps were aligning with God's path and whatnot. So, I would not be able to calculate that. Over years and years and years and years, yeah, I have no idea. Who's trying to call me at 10:40 at night? You left Christianity because of your feelings for men? No, that is not why. Sweet. Why then? I left Christianity because I just didn't agree with it. I believed in a God that was loving and good and did not feel like that was the God reflected in the Bible. And then I just like stopped having reason to believe in God and supernatural stuff anyway. So there's two answers. One, if there's the first step, because my deconstruction was growing up Catholic, and then studying Christianity better, reading the Bible and whatnot, realizing that Catholicism didn't align with what my ideas of Christianity should be based on the Bible and based on my upbringing and this relationship that I thought I had with a good, loving being. So then I became just a non-denominational Christian. Keep reading and studying the Bible, the whole Bible's kind of fucked up. But I still, I still knew that this all-loving, all-good, kind being existed, and that's just not the being that I see reflected in the Bible. So then I became a theist. And then I, at some point down the line, realized I don't have any reason to believe in a God, and the God that I'm currently following is a God that I made up loosely based on the Christian God. So that's kind of what the story was. Come back? No, I'm okay. Same here, okay. Threw forth, smacked across fingers with the metal part of a wooden ruler for simple doodling and worse. See, it never got that crazy with me and probably a lot of people in my generation. Yikes, I'm out of here. Good luck. I'm sorry if I frightened you away. St. Patrick's School, Mayville, Kentucky. Yeah, my school didn't go that hard. I think we had this sister in grade school that would throw erasers and stuff, throw chalkboard erasers and stuff at us. She was like an old lady. It really didn't hurt or whatever. But I think that's the worst that it got. At least for me. I was also a pretty good kid. I got in trouble more than anything, not exclusively, but more than anything, just for talking to my friends in class and stuff. It was much more psychological and emotional abuse growing up. With the Christian faith and the Christian schools and whatnot. Yep, if the chalk dust gets on your uniform, your mom will know you got hit with the eraser. Damn. And then the next question is, what did you do to deserve getting hit with an eraser? I'm 54. Yeah, I'm 28. So I feel like they chilled out a little bit. Schools, all schools, public and private, I feel like they chilled out a little bit. I am going to end the live stream soon. No to atheism. Cool. It's just different time. For some good reasons and some bad reasons. Well, no, like I said, I didn't really get that physical abuse in school, but that psychological abuse, though, that was there. You are a faithless man. Yeah. I think faith is an unreliable path to the truth. I think you can have faith in anything. You can justify anything by faith. Faith is the reason that you give to believe something when you don't actually have a reason to believe it. And it can be used for anything. I can have faith that this spinny cube thing is going to turn into a unicorn one day and carry me off to Valhalla. Muslims justify their beliefs with faith. Christians justify their beliefs with faith. Judaism justifies its belief with faith. Hinduism justifies its beliefs with faith. You justify anything. It's just what we plug in when we don't have anything to plug in. So yeah, I try to not use faith, not rely on faith. If you write down how God should be via your ideas, are you not setting yourself up as God? No. Not too so far being unconvinced. Yeah, for sure, people started suing those first. You're right about faith. Faith is a joke. Yeah, faith's just not great. I don't know. There are more reliable methods to the truth. Ian my opinion. I do think I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream there. Thank you all so much for being here. I say it every time because I mean it every time. I'm always grateful for anyone who doesn't just scroll past my live streams. I'm a random nobody just sitting here ranting and rambling on, on the internet. I don't really deserve anyone's time, so the fact that anyone stops even for a second, especially people who like, subscribe, chat, people who come back, for other live streams, it means a lot to me. I usually go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night at about, I usually start somewhere between 9 and 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I'll go for about an hour. This Sunday is my 100th live stream, so I think I'm going to go live at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time and go live for an hour or two. We'll see. And yeah, I mean, I've said it enough times in this live stream to, the 10 people that have been watching it. So I feel like I should lock in and do it now. But yeah. It'll be good. So, thank you all so much for being here. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, night, whenever you're watching this.